What's going on? I'm gonna do this video here in memory of my old grandpa Joe. You know what I'm saying? But this video I'm gonna call Vietnam weed. Uh, uh, see, in Vietnam, basically what Gramps said. He said that the Viet Cong opiated their marijuana because they thought that the Americans would get so high that it would make them not want to fight. But they would just smoke it and get really stoned and wasted and just go out there and shoot off. I mean, in Vietnam, basically, they had a lot of ammo to use and just infinite amount of grenades. They could just shoot stuff off into the trees, into some bush over there if they're driving in the truck. I heard about all kinds of weird stories like this. Not just from Grandpa, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up in the post-Vietnam world. You know what I'm saying? In the 80s and whatnot. But opium weed, the Viet Cong thought that they would get so high, they'd make them give up wanting to fight. I mean, doesn't that sound kind of Huxley? You know what I'm saying? That's a Huxley approach to war. But, that stuff can backfire on you. Kind of like, here's another, like the amphetamines. These, I think, they had the Japanese heavy on the amphetamines. And that's how they got that extreme behavior as kamikaze pilots and kamikaze torpedo guys. And I mean, that's extremely nationalistic when you will lay yourself on the altar of your government and blow yourself to bits. How much different is that from the Islamics approach? You know what I'm saying? With the these guys that wear a satchel charge and then go and detonate themselves to make a political statement. How stupid. I mean, the thing about politics is, if you got to go and hit someone or shoot at them or intimidate them, it's not really politics no more. Politics should be about all on debate and people wanting it, true approval. You know what I'm saying? But it's not. It's total fucking magicianry. Just like the whole usage of the drug war as well as a destabilization tool against people. I mean, and how the Chinese got pimped by the dope war back building the railroads. I mean, the people who created, I think it's Yale, they were railroad motherfuckers, and they would basically Shanghai people from China, bring them here, put them to work on the railroad, then sell them back opium that they bought from China. And then, and it was just a big pimpery. And then they went and ended up founding all the Ivy League colleges, I think is what it is. So that's how big, how that they're all hustlers, man. They're robbers. Edison robbed all of Tesla's ideas that he wanted to give out for a better price. More, it would be beneficial to mankind if they would give them, empower them with free energy, and that wasn't profitable. So they put the pimp on us all and gave Edison the reward because it's a hustle. Just like these drug wars are just a hustle. And like I said, and all that shit they say about people is propaganda. That the governments themselves are the ones a lot of time pushing the drugs on the street, but then and they're scientific about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. It's hard to understand when you say that word. They're scientific about it. You don't understand how complex and sophisticated these people really can be. Like with the whole leaking, it's like LSD. Like only people in a university have for the most part have the capacity to make LSD, but yet it always ends up on the streets. So someone in academia got the formula leaked to them by the government because they created that too, trying to look for the truth serum. But then they found this drug that just got people really high. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't like it. For some reason, but because it wasn't profitable to their agenda, it was like, no, this isn't working, man. This isn't putting people in the zombie-like state where we can control them well enough. This isn't what we're looking for. This isn't the soma. You know what I'm saying? No, all that backfired. It's just like with them amphetamines. I watched another documentary. It's called Psychiatry, The Enemy Within. It talks about how they're doping up soldiers, making them, they're like basically at gunpoint are making soldiers eat like medicine like Seroquel. I mean, Seroquel. Listen, this stuff, you eat one and you sleep for like 15, 18 hours. I mean, listen, that ain't natural. That's some heavy sedation. And they make soldiers take like 500 milligrams of Seroquel, go to sleep, and when you wake up, you're all groggy. You're like, you know what I'm saying, for a while till that wears off. Like this thing's made of straight up fluoride. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, if you want to see your drug of mass control, it's fluoride, and it's in your water, and it's in every drink that you have, because it's part of an agenda. Like Hitler, they were like, how come people just didn't notice so much stuff over there in Germany? It's because they were fucking woo on the fluoride. You know what I'm saying? They were half wide with the fluoride. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, Hitler also, he had this doctor, Dr. Joseph Mengele, and every day, I mean, every time you see Mengele, man, in a picture, he's like, he's got this evil grin. Like, he really enjoyed what the fuck he was doing. He really enjoyed it. Like, Hitler looked all fucking serious and shit, and he was like, but this guy's like, in the background, just loving it. Like getting his little research paper and writing down logs in his journal. Today, Hitler did very well after his shot of Vidamolten. And Vidamolten was meth in a syringe, injection of meth. And that's one of the reasons why Hitler was going, la, 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 and he was doing 50 speeches a day like he was some kind of fucking Terminator, was because they had his ass jacked up, boy. And he had a bunch of handlers. Hitler always had all these guys in the background looking, standing there all stiff, not being out up front. Like, he had his handlers, like they were taking him to the side and programming him, you know, whistling in his ear. So, I mean, this is a lot more deeper, and it's the drug war. Everyone wants to put it on the street. On the street, it's the street that did it. When, look, no one in America can grow cocaine, and ain't no one in the hood got a jet. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that. And then who created the formula of crack? You know what I'm saying? Word on the street, it was George Bush. You know what I'm saying? Another thing, if you want to judge a man's character on what kind of drugs he does, cocaine. Look, they said Bill Clinton, this dude, I seen this dude on tape say Bill Clinton's got a nose like a 2-car garage. You know what I'm saying? Because he be blowing that cola. You know what I'm saying? That's rumor anyway. You know, I can't prove that. I ain't never done it with him. You know what I'm saying? But listen, it wouldn't surprise me now. And then, you know, this one guy said he gave Obama head. A guy gave Obama head while he was smoking crack. I mean, come on now. So listen, and then the mayor of Detroit always gets caught with all kinds of dope in a barn out in a unmarked property, and that, or gets caught riding around, you know, with a crack pipe, hot crack pipe. I mean, it's crazy. But I mean, this drug war is so stupid that it's that widespread and just out of control. And it was a war that was never meant to be won. You know what I'm saying? It was one they could go forever and just exploit for whatever political agenda, and just power displacement, where you can oppress people and keep them kind of devouring themselves while you pick off choice targets. And then whoever gets caught up in the middle is just cannon fodder. Like Joseph Mengele. Like, Mengele wrote out this strategy plan and leaked it to the next generation. Like, hey, by the way, this is how you destroy make the world destroy itself. You know what I'm saying? Whoa. And bird just came rolling up on me. I mean, basically, like, some motherfucker thought, how can we just destroy everything? And these guys, these dumbasses, sat down and wrote books about it and then passed them out to people. You know what I'm saying? Literally. I'm not even joking. That's not exaggerating. That's the truth. They wrote manuals about it, had parties, invited people over, and they all spoke on these topics of depopulation and how to do scientific mind control and how to culture engineer. You know what I'm saying? And just straight railroad us into the fucking grave, man. I mean, literally. Like, it's nuts. It's like that movie, The Crow, where the dude takes the dude and he tapes his head to the car and tapes his foot to the pedal and then pushes the pedal down and the dude just goes and then jumps off a cliff and explodes in the air, then falls in the water and then sinks to the bottom of the sea, basically. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to do to us. And most people are unaware of it, man. I mean, look, what the tomfoolery is just the dirty tricks, the magicianry. The shit is deep and it's heavy and it's strong. I mean, the dark force likes to wield its white velvet fist or the iron fist in the velvet glove. It loves to wield that thing like, you know what I'm saying, in the shadows. But yeah, it's really sophisticated, and you gotta recognize it. Awareness is essential. Understanding, you gotta understand. You gotta cut people some slack. Be like, man, it's not even their fault. Here's the thing: when Huxley said he wanted everyone doped out, it's like every time they see another fiend, they're like, yeah, we got one, we got another one, we got one. It doesn't even matter because you think that just because you're not doing street drugs, but you're sipping the fluoride already. You know what I'm saying? You could be eating the GMO. They're spraying stuff in the skies that's chemical. That's chemicals. It's affecting you. If you don't care about that stuff, but then you want to but I mean, the people, they're really being victimized, you know. And it's basically, Huxley said it was this. It was that he was gonna make life so bad for people that they'd eat the drugs just to make that go away anyway, just to, you know. So maybe just 'cause you haven't had your, you know, your rations reduced to the point where, you know, you feel like the drugs is the only escape yet, but you don't know, you ain't been there yet to have to succumb because of circumstance. It's like, damn. Like, think of a person who you know, like a poor person, that dude who needs a little bottle to go to sleep, dudes in rags. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's like, man, what is life that bad that it'll push people to that? And it's like, yeah, it is, man. It can be. So you got to remember that before you go out and blaming the victim and not the or talking about the symptom and not the cause. You know what I'm saying? This is a symptom of systematic deception and an attempt to overthrow, like, mankind, the will of man, to break the will of man. And chemically is one of the ways. And it's not, even though this is every drug is a part of it, but no, they're looking for a specific kind of drug, one that knocks it all out, where it totally takes your will out, and you become kind of like divergent. Basically, there's a perfect example of what they want. That's soma. That's soma society. I'm not talking about actual somas, which is funny that they make an actual pill called soma. When Huxley talked about soma, he needed it for MK, for mind control, to knock niggas' will box out of their mind. And then shut off the spiritual is another thing. You got to get people totally stuck in this weird, totally physical paradigm where it's like, basically, you don't believe air exists anymore because you can't see it. And you believe that it's totally scientific to do so. I mean, for example, that's a good analogy. I mean, I'll tell you this too, where a lot of this comes from in China. What's crazy, you know, and I see this is true because, you know, I've kind of experienced it. But these guys used to make these drugs back in China, and it basically said that these guys ate these drugs and just started getting like superpowers. And it was like, and it was they were looking for the elixir of eternal life. You know what I'm saying? Or same thing, like the dude said he was looking for the fountain of youth that came looking for America, for instance. I mean, and the elixir of eternal life is like a metaphor. It's like a formula. It's like science. It's like chemistry. And basically, these guys found this formula that made people, really gave them superpower. But they also started dying young, and they went like insane because their power kind of corrupted them to the point, and mixed with the dope they were on, the concoctions. You know what I'm saying? It really did a whip-de-doo on them. So just look into that if you want. But, yep, Vietnam weed.